Hi everyone, I'm with Ali Olmes, who's the Gym's Cleaning Group CEO, and what we thought we'd do is we do a video audio version of our franchise information pack, because we traditionally do the PDF, or we put some information online. However, people are visual people and they like to hear and see, so we thought we'd do it this way. So we're going to go through some questions with Ali today, and he's going to provide you with a massive amount of insight into the franchise. So what was your background prior to Gym's, Ali?
Thanks, Joel. Yes, I've pretty much come from a retail background. I was the store manager and looking after multiple stores at Dick Smith Electronics, which was owned by Woolworths at the time. And pretty much I was there for about 10 years before joining Gym's Carpet Cleaning back in 2007. And started as a franchisor and quickly built the numbers from 4 franchisees to 26 franchisees within a couple of years, and took on the CEO role of the cleaning group.
And it's pretty, you started in 2007, which is during the global financial crisis, which is probably one of the worst times to start a business.
That's right. It's my first business. I wanted to work for myself and I wanted to own my own business. And within 6 months, the global financial crisis started, and it just, it was a horrible start for me. As in the first 12 months, it was very stressful moments financially. It had nothing to do with gyms, had nothing to do with what I was doing. Is more about the banking industry, and getting finance for franchisees was actually very difficult.
Okay, so let's talk about the franchise itself now. So what does someone receive when they invest in a Gym's Cleaning Group franchise?
Well, ideally they get the franchise rights for that particular area, plus all the support, training, expert advice, and all the marketing and the promotional packs that we have, as well as equipment. We've been doing this for over 20 years now, and what we call starter pack is I think it's version 5.02 now. It's we always keep on advancing our equipment, advancing our products. So what we believe the best kit for that industry. It took us 20 years to get there. So they get the full startup kit, they get the full training, ongoing support, as well as the promotional and stationery items. So pretty much a business in a box. Everything you need except for the vehicle.
So let's talk about it a bit more specifically now, because you guys have window and pressure cleaning, you have carpet cleaning, you have car detailing, you have cleaning. So with those packs themselves, as you said, let's say for each window and pressure cleaning, I saw one downstairs before. It's like a full-on.
That's right.
Like all these couple of items that you would really need from day one to go.
Yes. Yeah. So within the cleaning group, we have 5 subdivisions, which is Gym's Cleaning, Gym's Car Detailing, Gym's Carpet Cleaning, Window and Pressure Cleaning, and Gym's Blind Cleaning and Repairs. So for each division, we have their own starter pack, which is specialised. Like you said, for pressure cleaning, they have a specialised pressure cleaning starter pack. For car detailing, they have their own starter pack. For carpet cleaning, exactly the same. And what we do is we deal with the most advanced technology with each equipment and products in that particular industry.
Now, is that different to other systems? Because there's other cleaning franchises out there. Do you know from your own knowledge, is that something a little bit different, having that full total solution, or you guys just do it better? Or
look, we do research with what others do as well, and I can say that what we do is pretty much comes with the experience that we've had. It's not just me or Hader or Jim looking into these starter packs. It's impossible. We actually have 800 franchisees giving us feedback, and I can easily say 90% of the starter pack is actually created by the franchisees and the franchisors. We always have a franchisee saying, "I've got this product, it's really good," and we trial new products nearly every month.
That's great. So the actual people out there, over, let's say the 20 years who have just been trying it, as you said, you guys take that feedback on board and say, actually, this is a better product or whatever.
That's right.
And that forms part of the new startup pack moving forward. So you've had all these versions you were saying before, but that's just been done based on so much experience in the field.
It's all based on feedbacks and recommendations and suggestions we receive from our franchisees.
Okay, cool. So let's get into some of the, you mentioned some of the benefits before about starting up in the gyms group. So one of those things you mentioned was support. Now, what does support actually mean? So we say this word a lot, you get support, but what to you does that mean?
Obviously the first point of contact, first support they receive is from their franchisor. And these terms, some people call it as master franchise or franchisor. It's pretty much the same thing. It's, you can look at it as an area manager. They look after a certain area. And to simplify their role, a franchisor's role, is what we expect from them is 2 things: support franchisees, support the franchisees they have, and grow the brand in that region. So they're pretty much responsible for two main areas of their business. Obviously, we'll support them, on those two items as well. But and the support just doesn't finish there. It includes all the franchisees have access to myself. They'll have my phone number, they'll have my email address. Same with Haydars, same with gyms. And obviously, we have the call center working for them as well for the support. It's the best part of the whole thing is the person that they deal with from day one, when they make the inquiry, when they're buying their franchise, is the person that's going to support them. We don't have a sales team or professional sales people that actually go and sell franchises for us. The person that you're dealing with from day one is the person that's going to support you for the rest of your journey.
And for anyone outside listening to this, it's probably the best way I describe it to someone who's not in the gym system is it's like a full-time business coach. Literally 24 hours. I know that you guys, if someone called you after hours or on the weekend or emailed you about anything, you guys are on their full-time business support.
We get the most random calls and emails. Sometimes non-business related as well. We have that relation with our franchisees, and they might just seek advice and saying, "What do I do in this?" It could be a personal thing, but pretty much, as you mentioned, it's a lifetime coach. It's not just a business coach. We like to get be involved with the franchisee. They become pretty much part of the gym's family. And I know for a lot of our groups, we have internal group forums or WhatsApp messaging groups where franchisees ask questions to each other, or they ask the franchisor for certain advisors. And we promote that. There's nothing, we work as a team.
So let's talk about one of the other benefits you mentioned, which was the marketing. Now, what sort of marketing does the Gyms Cleaning Group do for work generation for franchisees?
Well, a lot of the marketing that we do is now online with Google, with Facebook, with a lot of the online searches, our website, SEO. So a lot of our online marketing is actually done in-house. So we have Mia that's working in our office, and we've recently signed up a deal with Sensors, where all our franchisees get registered on 26 different platforms, which means they're on Facebook, they're on Google My Business, they're on Bing and Bing Maps, and all the rest of the devices as well. Which is, on average, we get about 100 to 120,000 new leads every year, and about 20% of those leads actually go unserviced. So in most regions there's plenty of work, more work than we can handle. We just need more franchisees.
Okay, and then one of the other things you mentioned was the training as well. So let's talk about your training program itself, because you have the 3-day generic gyms group one, which everyone comes and does, but you can then go off and do division specific training. Yes.
So we have the initial training is actually 5 days, with 3 days of being gyms generic training, and we have additional 2 days for divisional specific training, where we do a lot of role plays and quoting and business planning. Once they've complete that training, there's another 5 days what we call on-road or on-tool training, where they go out with existing franchisees and spend 5 days with them. Ideally, the franchisees will show them how to vacuum, how to mop, or how to detail a car, or how to do a kind of polish, or it's more advanced, specific training for that division.
And then post that, when they go into the field, if they do get stuck with something, they can call the franchisor up, or they talk to other franchisees. That's the beauty of the system, I guess. That's
right. So they'll have their franchisors as a backup if they're any technical help, as well as the trainer for that region will be also available for any technical questions as well.
And now, in regards to someone building a business, is there an ability for them to build a customer base and then sell it?
Yes, that's what we actually call a split, which is very unique to gyms, where you can actually build your clientele, and what happens is almost 50% of our franchisees are actually currently not down for work. What that means is they're simply full with their roster, with their schedules. And we have franchisees that started in 1996, that they've been off leads for about 10, 15 years now. The best part of their business is they can build up their business to a certain level and sell off a partial or a part of their business, to part of their clients, to a new franchisee. And they can just go back to the system and put themselves down for leads again, build it up again, and sell it again. We have franchisees who's done 7 splits in Sydney, and I think there's one in Tassie she's going for her 5th split now. So there's franchisees who take this on board, and they pretty much all they do is build up their regulars and sell it. It's a great, and when you do sell that, you keep 80% of the sale price as a franchisee.
And it's a great extra source of income, as you were saying then, is not only just the money from the job itself, but having that customer base and having that go. You never really essentially pay fees, do you, if you keep doing splits all the time?
Yes.
Now let's talk about the group deals. Now you did mention about startup packs, but in regards to Jim's Cleaning Group, are there other deals outside that with insurance or with other things like that? Or
with the amount of manpower that we have, group buying power, when we go to our suppliers, we're trying to get the best deal of our franchisees. We don't make any profit from any side deals or any rebate systems, which we get offered all the time. But we normally say, let's put that price down for the franchisee, and that applies to insurance, that applies to our products, our uniforms. We're always trying to get cheaper and cheaper, or get the best possible price for our franchisees. And it doesn't stop there as well. We're making deals with petrol stations. We're making deals with companies like Scoopon, where franchisees will get 10% discounts just simply by using their email addresses when they buy things for online. So there's additional, we have additional discounts with car dealers. I don't want to give out all the brands now, but they get gold fleet discounts with some of the major car dealers that we have.
And I also want to point out, if anyone wants to see that evidence in action, is the Cleaner's Choice, which is the uniform company you have.
That's right.
I've seen the pricing online; it's very, very, very cheap. So if someone Googles the Cleaner's Choice, they can actually see the pricing itself, which is the uniforms that you guys made based on feedback. So let's talk about now the pay for work guarantee or the minimum income guarantee, because everyone always asks that question: what's the minimum income guarantee? How much are you going to make a week, etc. So we talk more about that whole program.
Yes. So the way that the minimum pay for work guarantee works is it's a guaranteed amount. It's minimum of $1,100. In some regions, it's actually more. But the reason why we worked out it was $1,100 is we did all the calculations with a business with their expenses, with their personal lifestyle expenses. Obviously, always recommend to do a cash flow and make sure you can keep and maintain your lifestyle. Not many businesses out there that can offer a minimum guarantee from day one, and that's what the guarantee is there for. From the initial day, it's designed for franchisees who don't meet the minimum requirements, which is very rare, by the way. Because sometimes when we say it's $1,100 pay for work guarantee, that's not what you're going to earn. That's just the bare minimum. It's in the contract, and by doing promotional services, you can actually, if you need to, you can claim that guarantee.
And it's important to point out, as you just said, it's very, very rare. It's something that it is promoted heavily that it is available, but as you said, it's very rarely paid out with any division. Yeah, most franchisors that I speak to, they have never paid it because they simply didn't need to, which is obviously a good sign for us. It's a good guarantee, like a policy in place as well, where we won't have franchisors selling in areas that there's no work, because they're responsible for the guarantee. So let's talk about now commercial clients and commercial work. So it's not just domestic work you're limited to. You can obviously massive contracts and commercial clients. Let's talk about that aspect of the business.
So we actually have a department which is called Jim's National Contracts, and we'll look after a lot of the commercial side of the things, as you mentioned, and that's been increasing by about 30 to 40% a year on the actual turnover. And the main reason for that is we've seen a huge increase with aged care centres nationally, with NDIS, and there's obviously other corporate clients that we have as well. We're getting a lot of government tenders and a lot of local council tenders successfully recently as well. And what they're looking for is pretty much what we promote to them is one phone number, one email address. We deal with the franchisee. We'll do all the bookings for our clients, and it will be centralised invoicing, centralised billing, so that some of these sites might have 150 different locations, but they only deal with one email. They only deal with one contact here in the head office, and we'll be allocating those jobs or leads to the local franchisees. Based
on your knowledge, do you find that you're one of the only people who actually can provide that?
Yeah. From what I know, we are the only company in Australia that can actually do that with 4,000 franchisees.
And it's not just cleaning, as you said, other franchisees.
So there's companies out there who need regular maintenance or mowing or cleaning or test and tag and handyman and painting, and there's not many businesses in Australia that can do that for 80 different sites at the same time, which we can.
That's just another benefit with the clean group is you guys have that commercial work already to go, and you obviously give it out to your franchisees if needed and request and all sort of stuff.
Yeah, and we get random calls. Like we had a call a couple of weeks ago from a company who do installations for 4G wireless cameras for building sites, and they needed 600 cameras installed. And again, it's there's not many businesses out there that can do 600 installs within a couple of weeks and all around the country. And again, we have the manpower to do that.
That's great. Now let's talk about the ability to work when you want, because that's one of the always the taglines. And let's talk about more the actual how you can turn yourself on or off, or take leads when you want, or your times, all that sort of stuff. So
our system is actually run by a system called FMS, which stands for Franchise Management System. And I always promote this at the training as well. We actually go through what FMS can do for them, logging in and putting themselves down for work. You can do same day service. You can do sometimes if you pick up large jobs or leads, you can put yourself down off work. You can make your areas. You can create different zones. So ideally, what we're trying to say is you can work anywhere, anytime you want. We'll send you the type of leads that you want as well. So some franchisees, for example, in cleaning, love doing regulars, and their business model is to build up their regulars and sell them in splits. So they only go down for regular clients. They only go down for commercial regulars or domestic regulars, and not be down for real estate cleans or builders cleans. Yeah. And that works well for them because that's what they love doing. And we've got franchisees the other way around where they love doing vacate cleans, they love doing builders cleans, and their business is based on, they have employees helping them in doing these additional cleans, one-stop cleans. And again, the business is there, the FMS is there to support them. And if anything changes, we have franchisees, as I mentioned, half of our franchisees are not down for work. But for whatever the reason, if you lose a client or two for things that it's outside of your control, you can actually go down for leads and fill in these gaps and go off again.
I think it's very important. As you said, all the information is great for people to understand. Is that, let's say for example, there is 10 services in a division. You might only want to do 4, and you only might want to do it in this little radius, and that's okay. Or you might want to take work from everywhere, and you might want to do everything because you want to build your businesses quick. So it's really up to you when you work and when you want to work. Yes. Days.
And things change. Yeah. And then, someone that's starting as a brand new franchisee, we recommend to be down for all areas and all the services that you can possibly do. But 6 months later down the track, or 12 months later down the track, you can actually shrink your all areas, work closer to home. Instead of doing a 20k radius, you might want to do a 10k radius. Or be very pick and choosy about what leads you want to do. Or you can even say the cheaper services, such as we have a service code oven cleaning. For that type of service, you might say, I only want to do that in my local, but I'm happy to travel to all areas for vacate cleans. And the system actually gives you the flexibility to do that. Yeah,
it's so highly customizable, as you said. I think it's very, very unique. I don't know how many other franchises allow that, but it's very up to you, as you said, to your business to tailor it after 6 to 12 months to really what you want. So let's talk about now trial days. So we always encourage people to do trial days and learn about the system before that. So how does someone arrange that? What will someone experience on a trial day with a franchisee?
A very common question is, because we attend a lot of expos and we meet with a lot of potential franchisees, and because we're part of the gyms group, a very common question is which division is better, which division makes more income. And my answer to that is go on a trial day and make sure you actually enjoy what you do before talking about the financials, because the financial side of things are actually very similar within each. Most of the divisions are actually, your potential for income is actually very, very similar to each other. So I always say you need to love what you do. If you don't like cleaning, it's probably not a good idea to buy a cleaning business. Or if you don't like working outdoors, it's probably not a good idea to buy a mowing business. If you really need to enjoy what you're doing, the best way to learn that is to go on a trial day. And there's no cost to the potential franchisee. It's a free trial day. And what we recommend is spend the full day, not just a couple of hours, but spend the full day with an existing franchisee and see if you actually enjoy car detailing, or if you enjoy cleaning, or if you enjoy window cleaning. Sometimes we get franchisees saying, I don't like using ladders. In that case, probably not a good idea that investing in a division that you need to use a ladder in. How about, why don't you look at cleaning or car detailing or carpet cleaning? So there's different, sometimes we get perfectionist people who love their cars. they should go for car detailing. Sometimes you'll get franchisees who has a passion for carpet cleaning. Again, that's great. You need to love what you do.
And the great thing about it as well is just the due diligence process of learning about the ins and outs of the gym system as well with that franchisee who's currently in the system a day on the road. So it's really easy to organise. Now, what is the average initial investment? Because it's a question we get all the time, which is how much, which we know is a very...
It does vary, but I would say the initial investment, including all the equipment and training and everything else, is between $30,000 to $40,000. That pretty much is a business in a box. It includes all the equipment, all the chemicals, all the products, business cards, flyers, signage. And the good thing about the signage is it can be done on any colour. Previously we had a rule that the colour of the vehicle needed to be white. But for the last 3 to 4 years we've been actually using what we call a wrap, which can go on any background colour. So the only thing they need is pretty much a vehicle.
No, your wraps look great, and you always see the gym's cleaning group car wraps going around, and the startup packs are quite impressive. As I said, we've seen a few below, so it really is a business from the box from day one for that initial investment. Now, why should someone choose the franchise route as opposed to going independent? This is a question we get a lot online when they say, "Oh, don't pay Jim all this money, or whatever. Just start it yourself, and you'll be fine." But maybe you want to tell us about the difference between a franchise style business and an independent style business.
Yeah. Again, a very good question, and there are, obviously we are very good at what we do, but there are some local very good cleaners or car detailers or carpet cleaners out there as well. So there's we're not in a position to put them down. So there's a lot of successful cleaners out there. There are a lot of successful carpet cleaners out there. But if you look at the numbers, and this is not our numbers, this is actually, if you do a quick Google search, about 95% of the cleaning companies, businesses that start, fail within the first year. I'll repeat, 95% of the businesses, cleaning businesses, fail within the first year. This is non-gyms. With gyms, our success rate's about 91%. And that's the remaining 9% is actually, it just means it didn't work out for them. Most of them actually sold their business. They didn't lose all their investment. They actually sold their business. So you have a much better chances of having success with the gym's brand. But saying that, you get all the inside, the equipment pack that you receive, the training that you receive, the ongoing support that you're going to receive, which obviously is non-existent if you start your own business.
But I think
a lot of our franchises are actually first-time business owners because they've been working all their life for a boss, and it's very hard to take that step to the next level. And when I meet franchisees at the training, and I can see they have butterflies in their stomach, they're quite nervous starting their own business, starting their own franchise, but we have all the systems and the tools and procedures in place, and we actually created what we call 13-week plan. It's a plan. It's for the first 3 months of your business. You get a weekly emails from me personally. It's all automated, but if they reply to it, I'll get a response. It's a video message. We give them tasks to do. We give them things to concentrate on for that week. And the idea of the 13 weeks is we know what you're going to go through within the first 3 months of your business. And if you follow that plan, we've been getting a lot of positive feedback from franchisees saying, it's working out great because I follow the plan. They do this, sometimes we give them homework or tasks to do for that week. And there's a real benefit to that.
I think it's important to mention all this stuff because if you're an independent, you don't have that. And on a day where you might not feel like anything with the business, it could be in that flat stage, like who's going to help you get out of it? Whereas if with a franchise, for example, they can call the franchisor, you might talk to another franchisee, you have that 13-week plan, content coming to you and have those tasks. So I just think it's a no-brainer. And from a risk mitigation point of view, in regards to statistics, and if you've got a family or something, I think you'd be crazy to go the independent route just based on what you're saying in regards to the percentage.
100%.
Yeah.
And plus, you have the pay for work guarantee from day one.
Absolutely. You have that safety net there, whereas an independent, you absolutely do not. So what type of person makes a great Jim's Cleaning Group franchise owner? So what intangibles, what characteristics, what personality
We
traits?
get all sorts of people from, single dads or single mums to, husband and wife teams. We have all sorts of backgrounds from, being chefs to teachers to even pilots end up buying a franchise. So the only thing we look is for, we can teach you all the skills. We can teach you all the, we can teach you how to clean a house, how to clean an office, how to detail a car, how to clean carpets. But attitude is very important. If you have the right attitude, we can't really teach someone attitude. If you have the right attitude, everything else is, we can actually teach you or you can learn. It's very important to have the right attitude for customer service. And if you are willing to learn and have a bit of an eye for detail, I think you'll be a perfect franchisee.
Now, is there finance options? Because we get asked all the time, can I finance this? Can I get a loan? All that sort of stuff. So is there options available?
Yes, there are finance options, but obviously terms and conditions will apply. Simple reason for that is there's been some cases where we believe that the franchisee, if the franchisee can't afford the business, if they can't afford the repayments, there's no point having selling them a franchise because it'll be a recipe for disaster. So we go through their cash flow and we want to make sure that they can actually afford the franchise with their current life expectations and expenses. So yes, finance is available, but we need to make sure they fit all the criteria.
Now, can someone put more vans or more vehicles on the road, or is there any limitations to how big they can actually grow their business with employees, subcontractors, all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, great question. So franchisees have the freedom to have as many as employees, as many as vans on the road or vehicles on the road as they like. We have franchisees that work on their own. We have franchisees, like I said, husband and wife teams or partner teams. We have franchisees with 5, 10, 15, 20 employees. So each franchisee has a different plan, a different goal or a target, but we'll be working closely with them. But there is no additional fees they pay to us for having employees. So they can, we have a franchisee in Brisbane who has 16 employees, turning over over $1 million a year, and the fees that he pays is exactly the same as someone having to work on their own because it's a flat fee. There's no percentage or commission charged. Additional employees or income.
And that's amazing because if you think about that, if you're, let's say, trying to do an independent business and build it to a 16 employee stage, imagine the amount of cost for marketing and all that sort of stuff. In regards to that franchisee who would have done that, they would have paid the same marketing levy as someone who wants to do, let's say, who's happy being a sole trader, whereas they've been able to just keep the leads going and build the business and scale it up for such a small cost if you think about that compared to being an independent person
100%.
trying to do it on their own.
Yeah.
Now, should someone buy a new territory or a customer base? So there's a couple of options for people outside of gyms who don't know. They can buy a new sale or a new territory or a resale or a split. Yeah. What option is best for someone?
Well, ideally, when you do buy a resale or a split or a new sale, the franchise agreement is exactly the same. So there's no difference in their rights, their responsibilities, or what they get with the franchise. The only difference is the customers that come with the business. So I always say, obviously, buying an existing business should be, depending on the price, should be a better option. But obviously, you just got to do your sums. Some people prefer to start on their own and start from fresh. That's no problem as well. But if it's around the same price, and if you're getting, for example, $2,000 or $1,500 worth of clients worth of business, and it's exactly the same price, I would go for the existing business.
Okay. Now, so you touched on it briefly before about the fees, but what are the fees? Do you touch my turnover? Because people think gyms will take your turnover, or 30% of your turnover, or whatever you make goes to the gym, or whatever it is.
Yep.
So what are the actual fees itself?
So within the cleaning group, our fees are actually It's about $670. It's a flat fee. It covers, part of that goes towards advertising and marketing.
That's a month, sorry.
That's a month, so $670 a month. Part of that goes towards advertising and marketing, to advertise in your area locally just for you. Includes a lot of online advertising. Part of that goes towards a call centre, pays for the girls in the call centre to obviously receive the calls and send it to you as a message. And part of that goes to your franchisor for supporting you. On top of that is what we call a lead fee. So every time we send out a lead, it's about $15 per lead. Now that could be a $100 job, it could be a $1,000 job, it could be a $500 job. You still only pay that once off. It's $15. It's only for new leads, so it doesn't include regular business. It does not include. So if a customer calls back for the second time or the third time or the 10th time, there's no lead fee. We'll still send you that lead, but there's no lead fee attached to it. And there's no lead fee on customers you pick up yourself as well. So from your own clienteles or referrals or word of mouth, there's no lead fee for it. It's only for new leads that come from the office.
And the lead fee itself, people might think it's the way to make money, but really the theory behind it wasn't, was it? It was to make sure people, if they get the lead, to actually call that person ASAP.
Exactly,
because you know
puts a value to it, so which makes our conversion rate, a lot of our franchisees convert between 70 to 85% of the leads they receive, which is very high compared to the rest of the market, simply because there's a cost to it, as well as there's a higher expectation from the clients and the franchisees.
And we know some people prefer to call it an investment fee or whatever, because as you said, you never know what that $15 lead can result in. It could result in a massive contract, or it could be whatever it is. So it's a great way to look at it as being an investment for the business. Now, with the call centre as well, you touched on it real briefly. I think many people might be surprised, but our call centre is Melbourne-based.
That's right.
And it's all on site, and you take, obviously, new franchisees through there when you come to training?
Yes, so when we go for the initial 5-day training, we actually take them to the call centre and get them to listen to live calls for about 30 minutes. And sometimes I listen to those calls as well, and it's quite interesting to see when the girls pick up the phone call, some customers actually are very surprised because it's not an overseas call centre. They're actually, got someone from Melbourne answering the calls and sending it to local franchisees. So we're very proud of our call centre, and they pretty much answer 80% of the calls within the first 30 seconds. So if you don't believe me, you can try 131546.
Now let's talk about New Zealand as well, because you've just started making waves in New Zealand, and you've got some new people starting over there. So what opportunities are there at the moment?
So we have pretty much all of our cleaning group. We have about 29 cleaning franchisees and a handful of car detailing, carpet cleaning, window cleaning franchisees there as we speak. We do have a local franchisor for cleaning and carpet and windows, but we are looking for a franchisor for New Zealand for the car detailing division as well as the blinds division.
There's a lot of potential there, because we obviously know Jim's Mowing works. I think Jim's Mowing's like 200 and something franchisees there, so there's no reason why you guys couldn't have the same number or more. So there's a lot of opportunity for anyone listening. Want to take that up. Now let's talk about, you mentioned somebody who had a 16 employee cleaning business, which I think is amazing. So are there any stories that come to your mind about a successful franchise owner?
Well, most of the time it all goes back to customer service. So if they're providing, if they love what they do, that reflects on customer service. And a lot of these franchisees are 4.7, 4.8, 4.9 star franchisees with the amount of surveys that they're getting. And the example that I gave earlier with 16 employees was actually a car detailing example in Brisbane. And he's been around for over 10 years now, built a very successful business, has contracts in place, and running an awesome business with, happy employees and obviously happy clients with it as well.
It's an amazing number, and for a car detailing business to be at 16 employees, it's a really, really sizable event. So how does someone learn more? Obviously, hopefully if someone's watched this, they know as much as they need to know about Jim's Cleaning Group, but how can someone take the next step to actually then start the process rolling?
Well, the easiest way to start is by calling our call centre, so 131546, or simply go to our website, jimscleaning.com.au, and make an inquiry from there, and the local franchisor will be in touch with them.
And any advice, parting words for someone who's just thinking about doing it? Just come on to a trial day, just give it a go?
Come out for a trial day, ask for phone numbers, speak to existing franchisees. The more questions you have, sometimes I get people saying, I've got a lot of questions. Is that okay? The more questions you have, the better it is. Ask all the questions, make sure you do all your due diligence, speak to the local franchisees, go out on a free trial day and make a decision accordingly.
Okay, thanks Adali, we'll leave it there.
Thanks,
thanks for all the information. Hopefully when he's watching this or thinking about Jim's Cleaning Group, it's a great decision and you've learnt a little bit about it. And then if you do need more information, as Ali said, 131546 or the Jim's Cleaning website to lodge an inquiry. You can speak to the regional franchisor directly. You can ask some more specific questions if you have them. So thanks Adali.
Thank you. Thanks, John.